There and taps his hands and you're just sitting there and you sit there and rocks back and forth in the chair like in a big old murderer or whatever he is convicted. Up to this point of a case, not in handcuffs, not in shackles, one or the other or both, and in orange.
Hello everybody, Excited Utterance here. My name's Hella. Am I hella mad today? Not so much. I was hella mad during the week, that's for sure. Because all of those motions to suppress, the Frank's hearing, all that stuff got denied. And also Judge Gull was being super gully. Andrea said that she was gulling. Big time gulling, and Hippler's hippling. So yeah, judges being judgy as they do, but there is some good news, just a little bit of good news on the horizon for Mr. Bryan. And here it is. He has a new attorney. And Young in chat asked a very good question. Does that mean Ann Taylor is out? No, thank God. Remember, Darlie will remember this, when she changed the terms of her contract, and so her previous assignment to the case was terminated. I had an actual meltdown, and this all happened backstage, and he saw it, and I was like, and Taylor's not representing him anymore. What? I totally lost it, but just turned out that she had changed position. She'd actually been promoted. I nearly died. Ann Taylor ain't quitting on Bryan Kohberger. No. So we still have Ann Taylor. We still have Eliza Massoth, which I can't say her name to save my life. Massoth. Jay Logston, who's really entertaining and writes good motions. He is not going to be arguing in court. He's assisting. I can't remember the wording, but I'll show you in a minute. But we have someone new. And she's super interesting. Her name is Bicka Barlow. Get this. She's not just a lawyer. She's a forensic DNA expert. Boom. How's that? And she's testified before for this case back in June 2023. So if you've heard her name before, or if this name sounds a bit familiar to you, that might be why. Right? Yes. So she sat in Latah County witness box before and been questioned by Ann Taylor. We're going to watch that today. It's only a short testimony. But this lady knows her stuff when it comes to DNA, especially IgG. I can't even imagine what she's going to do for the defense, what they have in mind. But we're going to look into that today. Does she get to question herself as an expert? No, I don't think so, CH. So this is why it's really interesting. I want to just talk about what they could have in mind that she could be doing at trial. The motions she could write could be very interesting, but what's she actually going to do at trial? Yeah, what arguments could she make? Could she possibly do one of the closing arguments? Like, could she do the first of the closing arguments? Like, I mean, obviously, oh, that's not really going to work. She doesn't get. They don't get a rebuttal, but nah, that's not going to work. Maybe. Just wondering if, like, she's got a long career as a lawyer, but I've not seen her actually argue in court. I'd love to find some footage of it. If anyone can find some footage of her arguing in court, that would be fantastic. We're going to have a bit of a look at her resume today. But yeah, she's first and foremost a DNA expert, a scientist, but she's also a lawyer, and she's a whistleblower. Guys, she's not scared to go in and call people out. She did made a complaint about a crime lab in San Francisco, because that's where she's from. She's from California. And she called out this crime lab because they made errors in a murder case in 2010, and their processes were really sus, and they found the wrong guy, basically. And it caused a huge stir. Got there was news on ABC 7, I think it was. I've got it all called up here. And it was quite embarrassing for them. And she didn't care. She was like, well, these are my ethics. Very similar to the lady I'm going to be interviewing shortly. That's Tiffany Roy. Tiffany Roy being a DNA expert who basically gives 0 Fs and calls out the FBI, calls out state agencies, and says when they're training their staff to ignore things like secondary trace DNA, transfer DNA. And she's going to be coming on this channel soon. She is on holiday right now. So anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to just say hi to people. Audrey's here. How are you? Audrey, do you know of this lady? Do you know of her? Hey, Moonvale. The wrong guy? That's impossible. Yeah. Nicholas Cruz defense was like 10 million or more. What are you talking about, darling? Young is here. How's it going? You're a scientist. I know, AG. Yeah. She's going to write scathing DNA motions. Hello, JC. How are you? They can't bring in the DNA evidence, right? Or it has to come in? No, it's coming in. It's coming in. So the motions to suppress, they were denied. So no, DNA evidence coming in. Did I get a haircut? Yeah, well, I cut my hair myself. So I did it yesterday. It was getting a little bit long. So yeah, thank you. Who else is here? I already said hi to Justin. Angel Ray's here. Angel Ray, I'll go up to the top. Teresa's here. Judge Jessica. Sarah the Irish. How are you? Coco, I feel like he's finally going to get a fair trial. Can't wait to watch. Grateful for this woman to join Ann Taylor. Pro bono, apparently. Now, this is a rumor. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but apparently. Heard it through the grapevine. Isn't it interesting how these people who are highly qualified in their field are popping out of the woodwork and doing work pro bono for this defendant? What's going on? So we got Cy Ray, who is the preeminent expert in the US on cell tower data tracking, right? So he trains the FBI agents, he trains state officials on how to create these cell data maps, right? He trains them, and he's written the software, the industry standard software called TRAX, TRAXX. And he has never, ever testified for a defendant in his career, and he's doing this pro bono. Now we have Bicka Barlow, again, another preeminent expert, this time in DNA, and she happens to be a lawyer as well, and she's come out, and if this is true, if she's gone pro bono to represent Bryan Kohberger, there's going to be months out of her life to do this. Why? Why? You've got to ask yourself why. Why are these people doing this? That they must think it's the right thing to do. And then you've got Eliza Massoth and Ann Taylor putting their whole reputations on the line and coming out in open court and saying, this defendant is innocent. That's a big deal. People are just closing their mind to all of these professionals who are really putting their whole reputation right out there. And when it comes down to it, there is a presumption of innocence as well. So to just say, oh, but there's DNA on the knife sheath, which has to be the murder weapon, and that's it. There's nothing else left that we know of to connect him to this crime scene and to this crime. The presumption of innocence in the US, really, it's woefully lacking. Teresa is here. Hello, and hello, Social Glow. Shabby, how are you? Melissa Simok, hi. Happy Friday. Saturday. Loafers and no socks. Oh, we're talking about Luigi. People are streaming about him walking in and out of the courtroom. Dear me. Spicy Hot Pocket. Hello. And Grey Space. She was gulling it up. Mm-hmm. Yo. Okay. Now, just see if there's anyone else there. Oh, DB's here. Shit's wild, man. Hey, Deep. How's it going? Oh, hello, Ange. How are you? Hello, my lovely, my sister, my sis R&M, and she been standing up for me whilst I've been asleep over on the Twitters. I put something out there that enrages people. I go to sleep, and Ange is out there fighting the good fight for the Aussie who's asleep. I love it. I wake up and there's Ange in my Twitter threads, like, going, nah, she didn't say that. She didn't say that. I love you. You're great. Online. Oh, hey, online. It's good to see you. I love you online. I love it when you're in chat. How are you? Hey, Baldo. Silent G. How are you? I was waiting for a comment in that vein. Is it possible that AT did this to ensure that the IGG is in, since the state wanted it out? At the very least, shine light on the FBI shenanigans. Hey, well, isn't that interesting? I don't know how she's going to open the door to it, though, because the state aren't going to talk about it. It's a matter of when the DNA evidence is brought in, so when they start to talk about the DNA on the knife sheath, if Bicka Barlow is the one questioning that witness, then does she start to question them about how they arrived at Bryan? And therefore, does she ask very specific questions that then leads them to have no choice but to answer those questions and then open the door to the IGG process? Maybe. Because only a professional in that field would really know all the questions to get out of that witness. So maybe this is what this is all about. Just checking, was it this case that Gray Hughes was caught by a local trespassing? Yeah. Yes. I mean, he may have been caught in other cases as well, but it was this one. I remember GH was snooping around and got chased away by a local resident. It was hilarious. When the state is being loudly and publicly whacked, then smart lawyers and witnesses do pro bono work for defendants, apparently. Yes, this is what's happening, right? It's so clear that this is what's happening. And when we talk about witnesses, we're talking about expert witnesses in their particular field who they feel like they have an ethical duty to come forth and do the work and expose the state for what they're doing. I love it. I just love seeing this. Good for them. Good for them. People like this they need to have an award. There needs to be an award for best badass expert working pro bono and lawyer. Angel Ray says, I don't feel like he's going to get a fair trial. I think Hitler is biased after his comments and denying the Franks. Oh, he's definitely biased. There's no question. Okay, so judges, as we have discussed in the last stream, the one called Denied, 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 judges have a lot of power. Maybe too much power, right? Will he get a fair trial in terms of a real fair trial, not the kind of fair trial where the appellate court later goes, oh, well, that's fine. All that was just harmless error. Will he get an actual fair trial? Well, in the sense that the jury hears enough to warrant them thinking about reasonable doubt. We can only wait and see, but if they hear about the other DNA profiles that were in the house that were not investigated, that's really important that they actually get to hear about that stuff. If they get to hear expert testimony that properly explains what transfer DNA is, so assuming that gets to come in, and if they get to hear that that phone was nowhere near the crime scene, and it's important that the phone was nowhere near the crime scene because the phone is tied to the car, and they need the phone and the car to be together to put him anywhere near the crime scene. By the way, the car's never been identified. So, in order for all of that, once all of that is put in front of the jury, I don't see how there can not be reasonable doubt. There must be reasonable doubt. All they have is a couple of skin cells that are on an object that's not the murder weapon, and the skin cells could have gotten there some other way. That's it. And this man has no connection to these people whatsoever. There's so much reasonable doubt there. I don't see how you can even go to trial. But we are. Because they know the truth. Yeah, truth seeker. I almost did a war crime in defense of my wife, Hella, yesterday. Yeah, you are so great. And you're awesome, man. You are awesome. I just love you. Hella, did you see the transcript has dropped? Oh, what? No. Oh man, like I'm in the future, but I swear sometimes I'm so far behind. Like I just refreshed the docket a minute ago. 175 pages. Well, that's going to give everyone a lot of things to stream about. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, I guess what are we going to do about it now, though it's all been denied? Hey, Claude Simeon. Or they have some hidden agenda. Maybe they were seduced by the bushy eyebrows. No, see, that was Luigi. Luigi, eh? Is it Luigi? Okay. Bunny Murphy's here. Welcome to the Helliverse, Bunny Murphy. Love you. This is Star. Weirdos only apply due process to their one pet case, but can't suspend their beliefs enough to apply it widely. Oh, don't start me on that, right? Don't start me on that. So it's like only the cool cases do we care about due process, right? So only when everybody else is doubting the person's guilt is it cool to doubt the person's guilt. So we only care about people's rights. We only care about their right to silence. We only care about their right to counsel. We only care about their protection from search and seizure, etc. When we're pretty sure that they're innocent and everyone else thinks they're innocent. But when everyone hates them and they think they're guilty, 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 oh, well, who cares? Who cares? And you're filthy and disgusting for sticking up for them. That's what Ange was protecting me for, because it was a different case. It was a case where everyone thinks that these people, I'm not talking about Bryan Kohberger now, I'm talking about a different case. Everybody thinks that the people that I was referring to are so disgusting they should be in prison. And I was saying, hey, they have a right to an attorney. Unbelievable. I'm really tired of that, actually. I'm really tired of people only being interested in citizens' rights when it's a cool thing to do. Everyone has the same rights. They are going to have to get it on cross. I'm sure that's going to be Attorney Barlow's job. Yeah, okay. Yeah, of course, it'll have to be on cross because so now we're going back to bringing the DNA in. So the DNA will come in from the state, and then someone's going to have to cross whoever that witness is, and then Barlow will have to cross them. I think it's a brilliant move. It's a brilliant move. The handrail was a mixed profile. That makes sense. That makes sense. There would have been a lot of blood in the house. And so for those who aren't aware, there was, this was only revealed at the hearing on the 23rd, that there's an extra unidentified male blood DNA profile that was found on a handrail in the house. But, who cares? You've got some touch DNA of Bryan Kohberger, so guilty. We don't care about that. Right? And so Sarah's saying that it was a mixed profile. So I don't know whether you know, Sarah, whether or not mixed as in there's more than one unidentified profile, or whether mixed as in is an unidentified male profile, because it was male, I believe, and the others were victims. Who knows? Okay. There was also blood, not BK, on the sheath. Yeah. Oh, sorry, what blood? I know that there was unidentified profiles on the sheath, but I didn't know it was blood. That's what I interpreted from the recent transcript. Oh, you've already read it? You are on it, Sarah. Sorry, did I miss something, CH? If the bloody palm print was BK's and the unknown was on the button, people will be yelling how unreliable transfer DNA is. What bloody palm print? I need to read this transcript. It's in the Seeking Justice Discord. I got kicked out of that Discord thing. Or maybe I left of my own free will. I think I was sticking up for the rights of Sarah Boone. Again, it wasn't cool to stick up for the rights of Sarah Boone because, I was filthy and disgusting for sticking up for her constitutional rights. Oh, Datelines tonight. Sweet. All right, guys, let's get into it. I could go on forever. Hey, Debson's face. You remember, Justin, you were around. I got so much hate for that. Well, she was just stuck there, made to go pro se, and she didn't even have a computer or anything. Yeah, people just equate defending due process as aligning with or liking defendants. Yeah, it's like this whole thing that with people assuming that those of us who think Bryan Kohberger is innocent, and at the moment he is innocent, by the way, that we have some sort of crush on him or something. There's this woman getting around, and she keeps saying that people like me have hybristophilia, because she just likes this big word, hybristophilia, right? And it means having a sexual attraction to murderers or something. I don't know. That we're all in love with him, yeah. And extend that to disrespecting the victims and family. Yes, that too. Whereas it's got nothing to do with it whatsoever. Zero to do with it. People love that word. I don't know how many people love that word. There's one woman in particular. She's off a rocker. Is that when Hella's hatred of the word narcissist started? No, I've hated the word narcissist for a long time, but the Boone case really brought out my hatred of the word narcissist. I do have hybristophilia for Luigi. So do I, actually. He's very pale, but apart from that, he's cutie. They are also narcissists. Okay, let's get into it. Right, so I've gone on for long enough. Alrighty. What am I doing? That's like saying narcissist. Luigi is way. Oh, Pony Way's here. Hi. I bet he crisped right up in the sun, just a little butter and some vitamin C. It'll have to be out in the the play area or whatever they call it, the exercise area for a bit. This is a no simp stream. No, it's not, Justin. Where's woman? Yeah, where's woman when we're talking about Luigi? Luigi, eh? With the spicy meatball, eh? Luigi always has a good haircut, and he has tight curls. Oh yeah. A good haircut is not easy on the tight curls. It's sus. Oh baby, I wonder where else has tight curls. Sorry. I'm telling you, mini pocket hellas that say not the best when you squeeze them. I need those. Okay, so what am I looking at? Oh yeah. So this happened a few days ago. Motion for pro Hac Vice admission. I'm probably not saying that right. So you're probably wondering, she's from California. How can she practice in Idaho? Well, it's pretty simple. They just put in a motion for this thing, pro Hac Vice. That just means, can we please have a lawyer practicing from another state come in and practice in our state temporarily? And that's what happened. So comes now Bryan C. Kohberger by and through his attorneys of record and hereby moves the court for an order for pro Hac Vice, admission of attorney Bicka Barlow. In the above entitled matter pursuant to IBC R227, Bicka Barlow certifies she is a member in good standing of the Bar of California. Oh, well, shame. But anyway, that's fine. That she maintains the regular practice of law at the above noted address and that she is not a resident of the state of Idaho or licensed to practice in Idaho. Ms. Barlow certifies that she has not been previously admitted under IBC R227. Oh, well, doesn't matter. And Taylor, defense counsel for Mr. Kohberger, informs the court this motion would be to allow Ms. Barlow to join the case as co-counsel and participate in trial responsibilities from the time of admission through to conclusion of the case. Jesus, she's going pro bono. She's got so much work to do, and for free. Defense counsel further informs the court that co-counsel Eliza G. Massoff will remain in her position as trial counsel and co-counsel for Mr. Logsdon will remain as consulting counsel, but would not participate as trial counsel. Oh, boo! I liked him. He was fun. Damn. Defense counsel certifies that a copy of this motion has been served on all parties in this case and a copy of the motion accompanied by a $325 fee and a certificate of good standing had been submitted to the Idaho State Bar. What's the $325 for? For fun. Defense counsel certifies the above information is true and best of their knowledge, blah, blah, blah. 18th day of February. Okay. And he was pretty quick to allow it. I'll share this instead. He was pretty quick to allow it. He was like, yeah, sure. The court, having considered the motion for pro Hac Vice admission and being fully advised in the premises, good cause appearing now, therefore, it is hereby ordered that Bicka Barlow be admitted to pro Hac Vice in this case, and that Ann Taylor serve as local counsel, whose attendance shall be required in all court proceedings in which Bicka Barlow appears, unless specifically excused by the court. Okay, so she's the first chair, and she's in charge of Bicka Barlow because she's not registered in that state. It's further ordered that co-counsel Eliza G. Massoff be remain as a position as trial counsel and co-counsel J. Logston will remain as consulting counsel, but will not participate as trial counsel. That's a shame. Okay, so we allowed that. That was on the 20th. None. Okay, so let's have a look at this lady. She is... This is her website. That's a really old photo of her. Hang on. She has a Bachelor of Science degree from University of California. Actually, I'm not going to read all this because we're going to watch her testimony from when she was in court in Latah County. Now, guys, it sounded like they were in a fishbowl and then they had marbles in their mouths and then it was like a snowstorm was happening on top of all that, right? Now, guys, I have done some work. I downloaded it. I tried to do a remove noise filter and then I upped the sound and did like the vocal isolation. And then what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to put another audio filter on top live today. And I uploaded it to YouTube yesterday unlisted so that the captions would be on as well. So I'm hoping that today is probably the best version of this that you're going to hear and have captions with that's available on YouTube. I hope. Bicka is an unusual name, isn't it? It's only a 15-minute or so piece of testimony, but it happened in Latah County. It was June 2023. I'm going to clip this, assuming it goes well. I'm going to clip this and I will upload it on its own afterwards. I'm going to take myself off screen and I'll stay in chat so that I can clip it, make sure that it works fine. Hey, Patty B, how are you? Kohberger is actually innocent till proven guilty. Yes, he is. Right, so she can tell us about her qualifications. Why not? Rather than me read it out. That works better. And we can also see what she was questioned about by Ann Taylor in court. And we also get to see Bryan again, because we haven't really seen him properly for a while. Hello, Oscar, no! Yeah. So I'll be in chat. So what we'll do is, I'm going to bring it up. Now, it might be a bit louder than I currently am. So if it goes loud, we might need to turn it down a little bit. The audio won't be great. Be ready for it. There'll be noise and some distortion, but it will be, I swear, 100 times better than the original. You could barely make out the original. So I'll be in chat and give me a little bit of feedback. I'll make some adjustments as we go. So guys, I promise you, it's going to be a lot better than anything that you'll get out there currently. All right, so I'm going to just go like that, and I'll change screens. And I'll stay on here for just a minute. So there she is. That was June 2023. And I'm just going to put an overlay on it. Oh, there I am. And I'm going to remove myself. So what we're watching is, this is Bicka Barlow, who's going to be the new lawyer. And hang on. Yeah, so this is Bicka Barlow. She's going to be the new lawyer, as in one of the assisting counsels for Bryan Kohberger. But she's also an expert in DNA, and she testified for the defense at a pretrial hearing back in June 2023. So that being the case, I figure she may as well tell you about her qualifications, etc. herself, rather than me reading it off her website. That said, the audio was really, really bad back then, if you remember. So I've done some work to it, and I'm going to pop myself off screen so that I can re-upload this later for people who just like to watch this. It's only a short bit of testimony, and she will talk a bit about the IGG and things like that. So yeah, this was back from June 2023. I'm going to pop off and I'll be in chat, guys. Please be aware, the audio is not going to be great, but it's going to be a lot better than the original. Okay, I'm going to pop off now.
I thought that was good. All right, so you're Ms. Barlow? Yes. Please come forward.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do. Sit there and state your name and spell your last.
My name is Bicka Barlow, spelled Bolton, B is in boy, ICKA, BARLOW.
Thank you. Please stand.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Barlow. What city and state do you live in? San Francisco, California. What is your occupation? I'm an attorney in consulting. Are you a licensed attorney? Yes, I'm licensed in the state of California. I want to talk a little bit about your education if you come over there. If you do a bachelor's. Yes, I have a bachelor's degree in genetics from the University of California. You also get a master's degree? Yes, I have a master's in genetics and development with minors in molecular biology and cellular biology from Yale University. And then you went to law school. Yes, I did. I attended the University of San Francisco School of Law. All right. Do you utilize both parts of your education, and your law degree and your master's in what you do? Yes, actually I began using it when I was in law school. I was hired in Alaska to assist in the case of DNA evidence back in 1994. So since that day, I've done almost higher DNA cases. You are in law school when that happened? Yes. Have you done these teaching? Yes, I teach attorneys regularly to meet the credits to keep their licensure, and I also occasionally teach for a guest that's presenting for a law school. When you teach lawyers, what kind of topics do you do? 100% about DNA evidence, and it's ranging from the DNA 101, the basics, to the most sophisticated aspects, including things like mixture interpretation, and now the application of probabilistic genotyping. How long have you taught lawyers about DNA? I think the first time I presented was probably in 2000. So going on 20 years. Do you still do cases and represent clients and stuff? I've pretty much given up direct representation of clients. I find doing DNA cases takes up most of my time because I feel better for the community as well. What potential organizations do you belong to? Right now, I think I'm a member of the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers and the California Association of California. And I used to be a member of the American Academy of Forensic Science, but I'm no longer. Have you authored any articles for publication? Many years ago, an article that I was co-authoring was published in the Plant Cell, which is a scientific journal regarding the work I did on my Oscar species. And I did also editorial piece in USA Today many years ago. I heard you say that you work as a consultant. What does that entail? Well, I work with lawyers who have cases that involve DNA evidence, and a lot of my work with those lawyers involves literally teaching them about DNA, because many people don't have any knowledge about it. That's why they're lawyers. And I sit with them and explain what they have. I usually discover their cases, and then I generally, depending on what the needs of the team are, or the particular lawyer, I will help them work on defense strategy, discovery issues, preparation of motions. I write motions. And I also do trial work. I do hearings like this as the lawyer, not as a witness. And I participate as a lawyer in trials. How did you end up helping in the Kohberger case? I believe that our reviewer of this lawsuit reached out to me. And what is your role? My understanding is I'm assisting in essentially understanding the case, helping to handle discovery, and consulting on, right now, discovery issues. In that capacity, have you helped us understand what we have and what we don't have? with regard to DNA evidence?
I hope I can. I was allowed access to, I guess, the vast majority of the feedback and identify areas where discovery is missing and where I can use to get more information.
I want to focus a little bit on one of the areas of discovery and why it's important to have an area of discovery. I want to talk about DNA profiles and what happens. In our state, there are 3 other unidentified male profiles. What are we missing?
Well, I believe at this moment we have all of the reports of the testing from microscopic laboratory. What I believe was requested and what has not been produced is any direct information or documentation of whether those profiles were uploaded to the state or federal focus database.
I want to talk a little bit about the FOIS database. You said federal or state.
Well, yes,
plus 1.
every state has their own state level focus system that's essentially operated through software that's provided by the FBI, our federal Department of Justice. And each state has its own statutory scheme regarding what can be uploaded, what can't be, and what types of records should be there. I'm very familiar with California's law. I'm not familiar with and each local crime has involved elements. EIS is their local level database that they can upload things that are not even part of the state system, but that feed into the state system. And then the state level databases feed into the federal database, but with different federal rules and statutes around what can be uploaded. Not everything that's in every state database goes to the federal system. So there may be more in Idaho than Idaho actually puts up into the federal database.
Why would we know that? Why would we want to know if those other 3 unidentified profiles again are
I'm going to believe we resolved this working with the Secretary of State this morning. That was my understanding. I'm not sure if we're rehashing it to this advice.
I don't think we resolved it. I don't think we have everything. I don't have an answer from the state saying we didn't upload those 3 profiles anywhere. We did nothing. If that's the answer, then I mean,
I thought that had been communicated, and I thought that the lab personnel had communicated that those samples are not eligible to be uploaded to CODIS. In my understanding, that has been communicated with council.
So, you have been told that it wasn't uploaded, so there's no,
Correct.
that wasn't pursued.
Yeah, the samples did not meet the criteria for uploading to CODIS. That's my understanding. And I believe Ms. Jennings is the one communicated that to the state. She's looking at
Your Honor, if the answer is that they absolutely have not been uploaded to CODIS, and that's the answer.
That's what
I don't, I heard it now, I heard it now.
Great.
I'm not sure I'm real comfortable with leaving it that way because she heard it before. This isn't a surprise, Judge, and I think it's unfair to characterize it that way.
Well, let's just get past it.
Yes, sir.
If that's resolved that way, then that's resolved that way. I think it's satisfying. So we sustain the
Okay, all right, really, this is the moment where we pass that one. Ms. Barlow, one of the other areas is whether or not you have corrective action or irregular results.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. The state indicated this morning that we would reach out to the lab. We had disclosed everything in our possession, that we will reach out to the lab. I do not think it's appropriate for counsel to call an expert witness as an attorney to discuss and relitigate the discovery dispute that was addressed this morning. It's not an appropriate thing for a fact witness to testify about, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Well, yes, Your Honor, it will be for things that have been in the defendant's third motion to tell for quite some time now. And I do have some of those results. We don't have the full scope of them. I understand the state says they'll reach out now, but when you're months into this, I think we need it might be helpful if the court understands why we want those, why those.
Okay, I'll overrule that, and just to get some understanding why that is important, even though the state is already set we can provide that unique matter. So,
Ms. Barlow, we requested 6 months and 6 months after the date. Why do you want that scope of corrective action for the
Well, I think clarify your question. The corrective action laws are part of the lab's quality system. So is what part of what they use to determine whether the quality system is appropriate. It's a way to track things like contamination deaths. It's a way to track things such as sample switching. It's a way to track the presence of unknown contaminants in the laboratory. And it allows the laboratory to assess whether or not their own methodologies are working the way they're supposed to be. And one of the most important aspects of the Bryan report is to not contaminate your samples, obviously. And so many laboratories now have to maintain these as part of their accreditation standards. And once a corrective action is noticed, and somebody identifies a contaminant in the sample, for instance, the lab then goes through it as what's called root cause analysis. So they will go back and look at whether a particular analyst has a particular habit that caused the contamination. They will look at things like whether some of their chemicals or chemicals are contaminated, and that's what they're seeing. And they have to document that as part of the accreditation process. And so what it allows people like myself to do is to actually assess the overall quality, and it helps the jury understand the overall quality of the work that's being done in the laboratory itself. And whether it allows all these protocols, and whether it lives up to the promise of the protocols to the and reliable activities.
Thank you. So let's get ahead of minutes a little bit. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about genetic genealogy.
Yes, I consulted on at least 3 of these.
And the information contained in the genetic genealogy, that's testing and then the screening and trees, is that something that is utilized to make decisions in the defense?
Yes. And I guess the reason I hesitate a bit is because this is a brand new technology that has just been introduced in the court system. And There has not been a lot of litigation in this area. There's not been a lot of testing in this area in the sense of cross-examination, which I think is how most of these methods are tested with the crucible equipment essentially. And most of the issues that we find with DNA testing in the past, or that I found in my career, Dr. Barrow, engaging with other lawyers and scientists around the country, is that most of these things are found out through the discovery process. In other words, we get the information so we can do our own investigation. And I have in my mind exactly what I would do because I would get access to it. Sure.
Please follow. Thank you. I don't have any other questions, but hold on just a minute.
Thank you. Any cross-examination?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
All right. Tomorrow. You are excused. You're free to stay. Thank you.
Hmm. 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 What did we think of that, people? What did we think? I'm a tad confused what they're trying to, well, I know what they were trying to do there, but like, okay, so it helps the jury understand the overall quality of the protocols in the lab. I know she's been working as a consultant for the defense probably like for a long time, right? Like way back in June 2023. That's why they had her testify. She's been helping them with discovery, right? She's been helping them understand what to ask for. Because how on earth would these lawyers and etc., they're not scientists, they don't know what questions to ask in order to get from the state the kind of information they need to ask the right questions, right? So, for example, on March 23 this year, sorry, January 23 this year, Ann Taylor asked for a specific file. She said, I don't have the gen something file. I can't remember, SCR file. And it is a specific file that they use to run at Othram Lab in order to then go and find more matches and expand the tree. How would she even know what that is if she didn't have a consultant like this lady to help her understand how the IgG process works? So they need people like this, right? Now, when it comes to trial, I don't really see how it's going to help having anything to disprove that the chain of events that led to the identification of him via IgG was in some way tampered with, or the protocols weren't great, because then they took a buccal swab and they did the regular DNA test. And I don't think anyone's going to have any objection to that. So if his rights were violated in the first instance, that's a pre-trial issue, and that's already been argued. So I just don't know. Yeah, Bunny, I may have the wrong terminology there. I'll have to go back and have a look. But there was a file that Anne asked for. She said, I still don't have this file, right? And she said it on the 23rd. And she wouldn't have even known what the file was or what to ask for if it hadn't been for the fact that she's had experts like this lady, Bicka Barlow, working with the defense over the last year or so, 2 years, helping them understand what the IgG process looks like, right? And therefore, that's what it means when she says that she's been working with the defense on discovery issues. Now she's going to be working with them as a lawyer, and that changes her role, but it means that she can question people at trial about the technicalities of that process, the IgG process. Now, I'm wondering whether there's other aspects of DNA that she can question people on. I'm wondering whether she can get out of the lab texts, if that's who the expert's going to be, about the nature of secondary transfer DNA. I'm sure she understands how that works. I'm a bit lost, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I said STR as well. I thought it was an STR file. So yeah, maybe I made it up too. I thought it was an STR file. I'd like to announce that Court TV has a thumbnail of Luigi looking straight at the camera. I'll stop it. Okay, so there was something else I just wanted to point you into the direction of. So this lady, she has commented several times and been interviewed on the Golden State Killer. And the Golden State Killer is like the preeminent case, the one that people always refer to, that was solved with IgG. So there's this 2-part podcast or whatever it is on the Golden State Killer, genealogical sites and privacy. Isn't that interesting? Genealogical sites and privacy. There she is, old photo of her there. Attorney Bicka Barlow is from the law office of Bicka Barlow. In 2004, Ms. Barlow became a DNA attorney for San Francisco Public Defender's Office, where she acted as an in-house expert, consulting with attorneys on cases involving DNA evidence and acting as a co-counsel primarily on homicide and serious felony cases. Now, in her own private practice, Attorney Barlow specializes in cases involving forensic DNA evidence throughout the United States. So I'm not going to play it, but I'll link it out. Yeah, that's the case that it's been referred to in the documents for Idaho before. And if you go and search up IgG cases, it's always the one that comes up. It was a cold case, and they had a lot of DNA, but they put it through CODIS and they couldn't find anything. And it had been cold for quite a long time. And finally, by putting it through these genealogy databases, they got a match. And so, yeah, she's commenting also on the privacy aspect, which has been quite a contentious topic. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up is, where's her website? Okay, right, so she is a bit of a badass when it comes to whistleblowing. So she was part of something that happened, I think back in 2010. There was a case that was overturned, and let's see if we can find the original article. Okay, so there's a bunch of press on her. Yeah, this one here, ABC News. Whistleblower, San Francisco crime lab scandal dates back years. We might just watch the
questions tonight about the reliability of the San Francisco crime lab. The expert who exposed problems at the lab tells ABC 7 News the lab supervisor offered misleading evidence in a 2010 murder trial. Vic Lee has a story you will see only on ABC 7 News.
This one specifically excludes him.
Lawyer and
There she
DNA
is.
expert Bicka Barlow is the one who complained to Police Chief Greg Sir about serious problems at the crime lab. Specifically, that a supervisor, Sharice Boland, failed to catch inconsistencies in a DNA analysis by a criminalist revealed during a murder trial last year. Barlow tells ABC 7 News that 5 years ago, Boland, then a criminalist, misled the court during a double homicide trial by not telling anyone there was a DNA profile of the likely killer. Instead, the DNA profiles she testified about pointed to other suspects.
She didn't tell anybody about it. She didn't tell the police officers investigating it. She didn't tell the prosecutor. And she didn't tell the grand jury.
Barlow says the inconsistencies came out during cross-examination during the trial.
It's just totally unethical, unacceptable.
Attorney Tony Tamburello represented one of the suspects who was acquitted. He even wrote then Police Chief George Gascon this letter after the trial, saying it was unethical. DNA expert Rockne Harmon even spoke directly to the judge about Boland's conduct. He told the judge, "I don't think it was professional." District Attorney George Gascon has launched an investigation independent of Police Chief Greg Sers. Gascon was chief during Boland's first alleged misconduct, as well as chief during the crime lab scandal in 2010, when criminalist Deborah Madden stole cocaine evidence. Tamburello says Gascon should...
Wait, is her name Ricada? She stole cocaine evidence. Really? So what now? Let's hear that again.
Conduct, as well as chief during the crime lab scandal in 2010, when criminalist Deborah Madden stole cocaine evidence. Tamburello says Gascon should recuse himself from any investigation.
I don't understand how he's not conflicted out of this particular investigation. He was on both sides of it.
Gascon points out he shut the drug testing immediately when he learned of the Madden crime lab scandal. He began an investigation.
Although I was a chief of police for a very short period of time and all the people who were involved had been hired before me, and frankly, certainly the conduct with the drug lab predated me, but this is not about pointing fingers, this is about fixing a problem.
Gascon says a respected team of crime lab experts at the University of Pennsylvania will be on his panel of investigators looking into the crime lab. He told us he wants the probe to be objective and beyond reproach. We tried unsuccessfully today to contact Boland for an interview.
Oh,
Vic Lee,
well.
ABC 7 News.
He must have been busy. These things happen. Well, I mean, I call that badass. I call that badass. Good for you, lady. When a match is far from a lock, FBI resists scrutiny of matches. Yeah, tell it, sister. State Crime Lab. And, oh, no. Bleh. Okay, well, I can't even read that because it's locked. I hate paywalls. Just put ads up, for God's sake. Meh. All right, anyway, I will pass you on to, hang on, wait, let's go back. Me. If you want to read any of the press about her, I will put the link in chat. There you go. I like ethical people who don't mind getting in trouble and calling out bullshit. Calling out bullshit. I've got no idea what she's like in court. Guys, if you find any footage of her actually arguing in court, please let me know. Put it in the comments, tweet me, send me a message. I've got a link tree. I want to know about it. Really, I'm like, anything at all. I want to see her. I want to see her actually go to work. We might see her soon at a pre-trial, but I want to see her in front of a jury. I want to see what she does. This is so interesting. I'm a bit sad to see Jay Logston go, but this is way more interesting. This is way more interesting. Okay, guys, I'm going to finish up now. Now, the piece of testimony we saw, I'm going to clip that and put it up on its own. So anyone who wants to watch it, I know it was terrible audio, but if you go and look at the original, you can't understand it at all. So I think that's probably the best one you're going to get out there now. So if anyone is anyone going through the transcript, was that what Bob was doing this morning? No, I don't think so. I think he was going through the documents. There's so much out there at the moment. There's all the documents that were that went through the other day. They're all 35-page documents and more. Plus now there's transcripts of 175 pages. I looked at what he was doing beforehand, and I think he was reading just the motions, or the orders which were denying the motions, but the transcripts, that's a whole different thing. So all the streamers are going to have lots of content for the next week or so or more. I don't think anyone's going to be able to keep up. So anyway, that's about it. I'm going to end up now, and yeah, I will see you tomorrow on Ilya's stream. Hang on a minute, there he is, and we'll just say goodbye, and we'll also go hello. Hey. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. Yes. Everybody, make sure that you are there for, what is it called? The
Sober Celebration stream.
Sober Celebration stream with Ilya. Congratulations for 1 month sober, and many more. So yeah, have a great Saturday, Angel Ray, and see you there.
Oh,
putting away. Good night, love. Good night. Okay, time for the song.
Woo. That's the only reason I came on.
Yeah, you just turned up for that.
Her name was Helen. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Dolly and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud, and because she's an 803.